Hey guys, welcome back to Tapin Podcast by TTBE. I'm back again with episode 2, and I'm here today to talk about evolving. One thing about evolving in life for me comes with fear, frustration, and confusion. And I know some of you might listen to this podcast and think to yourself, evolving is easy. But when you evolve, there's things that has to change. There's directions that has to change. There's habits that has to change. But when you evolve, you have to involve yourself with what you want to do. So that comes with fear a little bit, right? Because we think about evolving and putting ourselves out there for new knowledge, new information, networking, putting yourself around people to elevate to the next level. But when we want to do that and we in our minds try to put ourselves in that position, it's almost confusing. It's almost rewiring your thoughts, rewiring how you function, and rewiring how you go about life. When you put yourself out there into the world, you actually become more knowledgeable. You actually become more trustworthy with information and with things that you can give back to people. There's no way you can tell yourself that you're growing and evolving when you're not involving yourself in life. How can you tell someone that you know so much and you know all this stuff when you don't do nothing, when you don't put yourself in a position to learn, to understand, and to grow? But when we start networking, right, and we start putting ourselves in these rooms that everyone's talking about, things might change. You might either be a big voice or a big sound. Your presence might be really strong, or you might just hide in a corner and let the room dominate you. That's why I feel like rooms don't really matter. It really matters of who you are and the confidence you build with yourself. I just made the biggest move in my life. I moved from New York to Atlanta. And I haven't really went out yet. I haven't involved myself with Atlanta world and networking and things because I personally feel like I need to build my credentials as a speaker. I need to build my credentials as who I am. Before I step out into that world, I need to be somebody enough for me. And you have to determine what's enough for you. You have to determine who you are and what's enough for you to feel like you're important or you have that presence that speaks for itself. Now, being a motivational speaker, of course, is easy. I mean, I think anyone can motivate someone, put a couple of words together, shoot a video and call it a day. But there's a certain level of how far you want to go with speaking. Who do you want to be when you are talking to someone? Who do you want to be when you are in the middle of your dream, your goal, or the passion that you have? Who are you? Who do you want to be? And that's what I had to ask myself. If I wanted to evolve into this national speaker or this big guru of speaking for women, men, and all kinds, then I had to build my credentials. I had to really sit down and say, when I produce myself and I introduce myself as a speaker, what do you have? Who are you? I mean, do I really care? Honestly, when it comes down to that, yes, I do. There's a certain level of me not caring, but there's a certain point in life where you have to determine how far you want to go with what you're doing. Now, that can be a 9 to 5. That can be entrepreneurship. That can be your own thing. But for me, I stand strong on the passion and the gift that I have that God granted to me. And I'm going to enhance it as much as I can. So I'm trying to give you guys a voice, a direction through this podcast that whoever you are and whatever you're doing, you have to involve yourself to evolve. You have to be willing to be open to new knowledge. You have to be willing to be open to understanding that you need to be out in the world to really understand what's going on and how you can relay those messages to anyone else. You cannot sit in one space and think you're going to learn. I don't care how many videos you watch. I don't care how many certificate you get behind a camera sitting down. Like, you need to get up. And for me, it's time for me to get up in ATL. It's time for me to establish who I am in another state, another city. And it's intimidating. It's very scary. But networking is the key to success. I believe that we are all connected in some way. And the moment we cut off that connection, we actually hinder ourselves from knowledge, hinder ourselves from growth, and hinder ourselves from evolving. So leave with this message. Involve yourself. Involve yourself with who you are and what you want to do. Don't just talk about who you are and what you want to do. Actually be about it. Actually become it. become who you want to be. And if that is someone that has to build confidence in networking, then do that. If that's someone that has to build the strength to understand who she or he is in a room, then do that. But Tapin Podcast is here to tell you, you got this, and you can be anybody you want to be. This is a world now where you are not hindered from being who you want to be. You can wake up and identify yourself whoever you want to be. So I'm here to give you that push, that motivation. Tap into your dreams, tap into your goals, and tap into who you want to be. And before you leave here, make sure you wake up tomorrow and find a way to be more involved with who you are.